Welcome to the Dare to Grow Show. I'm Sarah Morgan, and my mission is to help you take daily action in your business, show up consistently and confidently for your audience, and earn more with digital products and programs. I know you have a rad vision for your life and business, but do you dare to grow? Let's jump into this episode and talk about how to make it happen. All right, welcome to episode 94. We're going to talk about hitting your deadlines today. Now, I don't know about you, but I love planning. I love planning my week, the next quarter, the next year. I love brainstorming ideas and setting up systems and color coding everything. I literally pay for Airtable instead of using the free version so I can get the extra color options. So if that's you too and you love to plan, I truly understand. Planning is fun because you can think bigger. You're not limited to actually making things work in the moment or making decisions or figuring anything out. But then 2 weeks later, you're sitting there staring at your task list and trying to will yourself to get the next thing done. Your own plan is backfiring on you. Totally been there. It's like when you agree to do something weeks in advance and it sounds all fun, and then the day of, you're kind of hoping the other person will cancel because you don't want to go anymore. I know my introvert friends are going to understand that. Planning is the same way. It's all exciting in theory, but then the day-to-day work can become really difficult, especially if it's just you and your computer at home all day with no one holding you accountable except yourself. That makes it really easy to scoot your deadlines around and miss your goals. So today we are going to talk about not the planning side of things, but the getting shit done side of things. And you're going to be hearing from me as well as two other entrepreneurs on how we each stick to our deadlines in slightly different ways. And the reason I wanted to do this as a panel episode is that there's no plug and play strategy for the day-to-day work. You really have to figure out what tactics work best for you and your life and how to hold yourself accountable or build in the accountability that you need. So you're going to hear from Ashley Hogrebe, who helps neurodivergent business owners rock their systems with Airtable and a Zapier. Ashley is who I learned Airtable from. And let me tell you, that one little system makes running my business so much easier. It looks like just empty tables and stuff, but once you get it set up, oh man, it's so good. And you're also going to hear from Jennifer Drago, a business strategist who helps entrepreneurs develop their vision and strategy and goals to gain clarity and propel their business success. And Jen is one of our fantastic Dare to Grow members. But first, I'm going to share my strategy with you because there are 3 things that help me stick to my schedule a little bit more consistently. So first up is being realistic about how much I can get done in one day, and not as my best self. My best self can get 50 tasks done every day and work out and make 3 meals from scratch, all while showing up on social media and being totally inspiring and motivating. But my best self doesn't show up every day. So I have to plan and schedule for chill, creative Sarah who likes to sleep in and always has a million other ideas that she wants to work on and create. I have literally 3 more journal/planner ideas that I want to design. And I'm holding myself back every day from ditching all of my tasks and just doing that instead. So planning for creative chill Sarah means that there are no more than 3 main tasks during the day, but I usually try to keep it to just one. So for example, today's main task was to write and record this podcast episode. But I also have to clean out my inbox because my VA is on vacation and check in with clients and Dare to Grow members. So scheduling less tasks every day gives me more time to check off those tasks so I can be chill and enjoy my matcha, but also get my shit done. Remember, every time you check off a task on the day that it's due, the day that it is in your schedule, you are building trust with yourself. And that trust is important when it comes to making the next decision or accepting opportunities. Those little moments of trust add up. So it's important to give yourself the best chance to be successful at it. So the second way I stick to my deadlines is to look for ways to remove friction from my day. And by friction, I mean anything that will slow me down or make my tasks more difficult. Because my job is not that hard. I'm sitting on my couch under a blanket in my pajamas, drinking a matcha at 1 p.m. while I write this episode. Like, things are cushy as fuck over here. But somehow there are still weeks, a lot of them last year, when I just couldn't get my podcast done and I ended up recording on Sunday night, which as a principal, as like a business value, is something that I do not want to be doing. I am always telling my Dare to Grow members to take their nights and weekends off, so I can't be doing that myself. So to avoid doing this to myself every week, I have to look at all the things I'm doing or thinking in the moment as I'm avoiding writing an episode. So for a while, it was just the blank page. Like, starting from scratch is really difficult, especially if you're not feeling inspired. And so I started dictating episodes into a Google Doc. So I would like open up the document on my phone and then use the little talk to text button, the dictation button, and talk into my phone, but then it's going into that document. And in about 10 minutes, I can have like 1,000, 1,500 words. So talking through episodes creates less friction for me than sitting down and typing it out. I can go faster, it flows more easily, it sounds more like me. So as you're finding yourself ignoring deadlines or procrastinating or moving things around, ask yourself, what are you really avoiding? And once you start paying attention and catching yourself, you'll get answers that can help you make adjustments. Because usually it's not the actual task. Like typing out a blog post, typing out an episode is not in itself difficult. It's all like the mindset stuff that creeps in, or all the other stuff around us in our lives, in our business, that we end up getting pulled into instead. And then lastly, I avoid task switching as much as possible. So writing and recording this episode is my main task for today, my only big task, and I won't do anything else until that's done. So even checking my email, like I kind of feel like I want to check it, but I know that's procrastination kicking in, because who really wants to check their email? But I also know that that's going to lose me 2 hours to my inbox if I do that. Even switching to a small task still takes 20 minutes for your brain to switch from task 1 to task 2, and then another 20 minutes to go back from task 2 to task 1. That's 40 minutes lost that you won't even notice because you'll feel busy the whole time. So meditation or any exercise that helps with your focus, like I use a breathwork app all the time, will help you notice your thoughts and actions more. And then when you notice, you'll be able to shift. Sometimes I literally stop myself in my tracks because I catch myself thinking or doing something that I know is like not a great habit or not a great thought to have. And I literally dead stop and re-say that thought more positively or adjust what I'm doing to get myself back on track. So now I'm going to pass the mic over to Ashley, Queen of Airtable, and she is going to share her strategies for sticking to deadlines.
Hey there, I'm Ashley and I'm the founder of Do the Damn Thing. I help neurodivergent online business owners organize and automate their business backend using Airtable and Zapier. The best way I've been able to stick to my deadlines is knowing that I'm most likely never going to stick to my deadlines. I have ADHD and depression, so my daily productivity levels vary drastically. Some days I am super productive and I can knock everything off my to-do list and then some, and other days I can barely open my laptop. So I used to really beat myself up about this. I would get frustrated on those lower days because I knew what peak productivity Ashley was capable of. But since learning more about my ADHD diagnosis and just seeing the days where I've just had so many of those depression days, and those are not going away for me. I can't hustle my way out of it. I can't wake up at 5 a.m. and, just get through it. I've really had to figure out creative solutions that work uniquely for me. So the best way I've been able to stick to deadlines is really giving myself a lot of buffer days so I have the time and space to move things around. Because when I wake up in the morning, I don't know what the day is going to be like. I don't know if it's going to be a super productive day, and I don't know if it's going to be a day where I can't do a lot, right? So what I do at the beginning of the month is I literally add buffer days onto my calendar. So those are typically Fridays. And a buffer day to me is a day where I don't schedule any actual tasks. So let's say I'm planning out a project and breaking that down into daily tasks, and then I'm putting those on the calendar. I don't put any of those special tasks on Fridays or Mondays because I need the buffer time, right? So I kind of try to pack it into Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And that way, when I wake up in the beginning of the week and I'm not feeling it on Tuesday, instead of having a mountain of tasks that like just now it feels like insurmountable, there's so much to do, I have that blank space on my calendar so I can move things around. So I try my best, right? I plan tight, hang loose is my motto. So, planning out all the things, mapping things out, but knowing that when the actual day comes, I have the freedom and flexibility, and I don't have to get 100% of the things done that day, or else everything falls apart. I have that buffer. So that's really how I've been able to stick to my deadlines, is the more I've started to project plan, the more I've been doing my task management, I can really start to better forecast the amount of tasks, the type of tasks that I can get done realistically within a week. And for me, if I do miss a deadline, that's totally just data for me to be like, okay, where did I overcommit? Where did I think that I could totally get this done, but I knew I had an event and I knew I couldn't do that? All of those things. So really, by not packing my week with tasks, I'm able to move things around and not get too behind if I don't get 100% of my task list done some days. So if you feel like you're always feeling behind, I would really recommend implementing buffer days and seeing how that works for you. So hope that helps. And thank you so much, Sarah, for having me on the pod.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing that. You do not have to add tasks every day in your calendar or pack your calendar full. And I also keep my Fridays and Mondays pretty clear. So either they stay clear and I can be done early, or if I've got some overflow, it goes into those days. So I'm so glad to hear that you're doing the same thing. All right, next up, we have Jen.
Hi there. I'm Jennifer Drago, and I'm from Peak to Profit, and I help entrepreneurs and small businesses get laser focused on their business strategy, vision, and goals so that they can have daily clarity of action, where to put their efforts each day to have maximum results. I'm so excited to talk to you today about how I stick to my deadlines and schedules. It's always a struggle, but it's also a topic I nerd out on because of my love of goal setting. And so I'm going to paint a picture for you of how I move from annual goals to daily tasks. I am a big believer in setting annual goals for your business. As a brand new entrepreneur myself, I am trying this year to build my audience of raving fans, I hope. I'm trying to build my assets of my business, which includes launching my first course and continuing to build lead magnets that provide lots of value to my audience, and then to build my personal brand and my credibility online. I come from a corporate world where I've had almost 30 years of experience in business strategy, and so I'm excited to share this with entrepreneurs and small business owners. But I'm going to take that big goal of creating a course because I think it illustrates how this works for me. So in creating a course, of course, it includes many steps to get to the end product. So I have a course outline. Right now, I am working on the slides for the different lessons and modules. Soon, I will work on the handouts that go with each of those lessons and modules. At some point, I'm going to have to videotape and edit those lessons and modules. Then I'll upload all that to a platform, and then the marketing begins, which is its own series of steps and deadlines. And so I have a goal to finish all of this and launch my course within the first quarter of this year. And then I hope to build additional courses in other quarters of the year, but I'm going to just stick with this first quarter. And so you can see that with that series of steps and deadlines, now from a quarterly goal, I'm going to move into a set of weekly goals. So there's 13 weeks in each quarter. And yes, I actually do weekly goal setting, and I have to do it at the beginning of the quarter if I intend to accomplish big goals like launching a course at the end. And so that is the progression that I follow to figure out what do I need to accomplish each week. My weekly planning also is a little bit unique, maybe not completely unique, but what I like to do is plan my weeks out on a Sunday night or Sunday afternoon. And again, taking that weekly task list that derives from my quarterly goals, I know exactly what I have to accomplish in that week. But what the weekly plan helps me do is figure out where my personal and client appointments are going to fit into the week and therefore what work time I will have during the week. So when I can accomplish those big rocks for my business. And I do this through time blocking, which I'm going to talk about more so on the daily basis. But when I look at things on a week basis, what I can see again is which are going to be the days where I have to get a lot of my work time in and where I'm going to have to plan those big chunks of time. Okay, now moving ahead on a daily basis. This is where the magic happens to me and where if the magic doesn't happen, I would be in trouble in managing my schedule. So on a daily basis, first, I always plan the night before for the daily schedule. Same kind of thing as what I do weekly is I know what my schedule is going to be in terms of my appointments for each day. And so therefore I know where my big chunks of work time are going to be. So that's called time blocking, and many of you have probably used that, but I really believe that it is one of the greatest productivity tools that we have available to us as humans. And so I use it every single day, and I try to time block, especially in the morning hours. I'm most creative between the hours of 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. If I can get a lot of work time in before my husband and even my dog wake up, it's more productive for me. So I try to do the time blocking and do my big work, also called eat the frog, first thing in the morning. And you may have heard the term eat the frog. It's from Brian Tracy. He's a motivational speaker. And he says, if you have to do something that you're kind of dreading or that's going to take a lot of brain power, try to do it first thing in the morning. First of all, you're going to be fresh, but second of all, you'll be able to check it off and feel that sense of accomplishment, which will then lead to accomplishment in other areas of the day. The other thing that I do on a daily basis to help me maintain my schedule and hit those deadlines is to remove distractions. I feel like that's really key. Again, for us as entrepreneurs, we don't have a boss looking over our shoulders and we don't have workplace rules that say that we can't be on our phone during the day, those kinds of things. But we should maybe make some rules for ourselves. So I try to keep my phone away from me. I try to stay off email except for first thing in the morning. I check it at lunch and I check it at the end of the day. Stay off social media and Facebook and all of those things. Close as many tabs as I can so that when I am truly time blocked and working on strategic tasks, I am focused during that time. And then finally, I do a shutdown ritual at the end of each day where I make note of all the things I was able to accomplish because I feel it's important for us to celebrate as entrepreneurs. And then I'm able to transfer the things I didn't accomplish to the next day and plan my next day so that when I wake in the morning and I can hit the ground running and I know exactly what my schedule for the next day is going to look like and what are the most important tasks that I need to work on each day. So that's how I stick to deadlines and schedules, and I hope that was helpful. Thank you.
Ooh, I love that you mentioned eating the frog and checking off that biggest and more difficult task first to kind of get yourself going. This totally works for me too. Once I check off that big task, I feel like Wonder Woman. I feel like an epic CEO. I've got my shit together, and that motivation totally helps me blast through the rest of my to-do list so fast. So there you go. So many ideas for planning your tasks, avoiding self-sabotage, setting yourself up to get shit done. I would love to hear if any of these things have worked for you or if you have other ways you keep yourself on track. Everyone is so different, so you may have to test and tweak things, but let's brainstorm. So head over to Instagram, find me at @XOSarahMorgan, look for the episode 94 post, and let's discuss. All right, thanks for hanging out with us today. Have a great week, and I will talk to you again soon. Oh, and one more thing before I go. If you have any questions on anything we talked about today, or if you are looking for help to market and grow your business, head over to daretogrow.co. That's daretogrow.co and join us in Dare to Grow. It's my membership for solopreneurs looking to simplify their marketing, show up with confidence, and finally grow their online business. You will get instant access to all of the trainings, the twice monthly coaching calls, our monthly planning and goal setting call, and our super supportive Facebook community filled with solopreneurs just like you. Seriously, it's so good. If that sounds like something you need, link is in the show notes or visit daretogrow.co, and I will see you inside.